There are more viruses on this planet than stars in the observable universe. Trillions upon trillions of them, invisible, weightless, drifting through every ocean, every lungful of air, every drop of your blood. Most of them will never touch you. But 3.5 billion years ago, one of them may have come close to ending the entire experiment of life on Earth before it ever produced a single tree, a single animal, a single human thought. To understand how close we came, we have to go back to a time before life looked like anything we'd recognize. The oceans were warm, sterile by comparison to today, and home to nothing more complex than single-celled microbes, the deep ancestors of bacteria and archaea. These weren't passive organisms drifting peacefully. They were locked in an arms race older than evolution itself, a war against viruses. Here is the revelation that changes how we see this war. Viruses are not simply parasites that infect and kill. In the earliest oceans, viruses may have been the single greatest force shaping which life survived and which life vanished forever. Geneticists studying ancient viral signatures embedded in microbial DNA have found something staggering. Entire branches of the tree of life appear to end abruptly, swallowed by viral outbreaks so total that no descendants remain to tell the story. We don't see the casualties, we only see the survivors, and we are descended from whichever organisms got lucky. This is sometimes called a genetic bottleneck, and on a small scale, it happens all the time. But some researchers believe that early in Earth's history, viral predation was so relentless and so efficient that it came within a hair's breadth of erasing life's diversity completely, collapsing it down to 1 or 2 surviving lineages, a near-total monoculture of the planet's entire biosphere. If that lineage had also failed, there would have been nothing left. No bacteria to evolve into complex cells, no cells to evolve into us. Consider the scale of what we're describing. A virus is not alive in the way a cell is alive. It cannot move, cannot eat, cannot reproduce on its own. It is, in its simplest form, a strand of genetic instructions wrapped in a protein shell, a message with no body, waiting for something else to read it. And yet this almost nothing, this fragment of code drifting in seawater, may have held more power over the fate of life than asteroids, volcanoes, or ice ages ever did. The mechanism is brutally elegant. A virus attaches to a cell, injects its genetic material, and hijacks the cell's machinery to build millions of copies of itself. The cell bursts open, releasing a flood of new viral particles into the water, each one searching for the next host. In a dense microbial population, this isn't just death, it's exponential death. Modeling of these ancient marine ecosystems suggests that viral outbreaks could kill a significant fraction of all microbial life in the ocean within days, again and again, generation after generation. Why didn't this end everything? The answer is one of the most important survival mechanisms in the history of biology: mutation under pressure. Every viral outbreak that swept through the ancient oceans didn't just kill, it selected. The cells that survived were the ones whose genetic code, by pure chance, included some defense the virus couldn't crack. Over millions of years, this merciless filtering process didn't just preserve life. It built the immune system. It built the very tools of genetic editing that life still uses today, including, astonishingly, the CRISPR system, a viral defense mechanism in bacteria that scientists now use to edit human DNA. The machine we use to cure genetic disease was forged in a war for survival against extinction-level viruses. And here is where this ancient story reaches directly into your own body. Roughly 8% of the human genome is made up of fragments of ancient viruses, remnants of infections that occurred not in you, but in your evolutionary ancestors, hundreds of millions of years ago. Some of these viral fossils have been repurposed by evolution for essential functions, including, remarkably, genes involved in the formation of the placenta. The same category of organism that once threatened to erase all life is, quite literally, written into the code that allows mammals to give birth to live young. The villain and the architect were never two different things. So when we ask whether a virus almost killed all life on Earth, the more unsettling and more beautiful answer is this: a virus very nearly did. And in nearly doing so, it built the resilience, the diversity, and even the biology that allowed complex life, intelligence, and eventually you to exist at all. Extinction and creation were never opposites in this story. They were the same pressure, applied long enough. We tend to think of survival as the absence of threat, but everything alive today is alive because something almost wasn't. Look at your own cells, your own immune system, your own DNA, and you are looking at the scar tissue of a war fought before there were eyes to witness it. A war life almost lost, and in losing almost everything, learned how to never lose completely again.